appointed officers of leaders and the county assembly for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to be only with abundant favor. As your servant whom you have been pleased to call to perform important trust in this country, Republic of Kenya, let your blessing descend upon us here, assemble and grant and unity and consider all matters that shall come out of deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those trusts you have committed to our church. Amen. Clerk, confirm whether we have quorum.
Honorable Speaker, there is no quorum.
Okay. I direct the office of the Senator, the bell be rung for 10 minutes. Then, Honorable Whip, you whip the members that are within the premises. The whips, both whips, you make ensure that the members are present so that we can continue with the business of the day. Honorable Clerk, confirm whether we have quorum.
Honorable Speaker, there is quorum.
Okay. Order of business.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Thank you. Honorable members, I wish to make communication and first and foremost welcome you all back to the regular session of the County Assembly. The reception of the County Assembly normal business has been gazetted by the Gazette notice on 15, on number 15/782, issued on 28 November. Honorable members, you will all recall the following the events on 13 November 2024. I issued a press release on 14 November 2024 notifying the honorable members and the public that the County Assembly has been adjourned since then. As I pointed out in my statement, the grave disorderly depicted on 13/2024 in the House is uncalled for and fall short of expectation of the conduct of the state officer under Chapter 6 of the Constitution, the County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act, and the Nandi Assembly Standing Orders, as well as other enabling legislation. Honorable members, the County Assembly Powers and Privileges Committee Act 2017 establishes the Committee on the Powers and Privileges and vested the committee with the following mandate. 1. Inquire into the conduct of a member whose conduct is alleged to constitute a breach of privilege in terms of Section 16, and perform such other function as may be specified in this Act. Whereas Section 5 of the County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act 2017 provides that the Committee of Powers and Privileges shall, either on its own motion or a result of complaint made by any person, inquire into the conduct of a member whose conduct is alleged to constitute a breach of privileges in terms of Section 16 within 14 days of receipt of the complainant. As a result of an unfortunate event of 13 November 2024, the Powers and Privileges Committee, pursuant to Section 5 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017, has its own motion taken up the matter, and since commenced disciplinary proceedings. A report against those who will find culpable will be made public and tabled on the floor of the House once investigations are completed. Therefore, it goes without saying that any breach or even attempt to breach the County Assembly privileges attracts sanctions. The Act provides that whereas a County Assembly finds a member has committed a breach of privileges, the County Assembly may, in addition to any penalty to which the member may be liable under the Act or in any other law, impose any or more of the following penalties. 1. A formal warning. 2. A reprimand. C. An order to apologize to the County Assembly or a person in a matter to be recommended by the Committee of the Powers and Privileges. D. The withholding for a specific period of time of a member right to use or enjoyment of any specific facility provided to the member by a County Assembly. And then E. Removal or suspension for a specific period of time of the member from any County Assembly position occupied by a member. F. Such fines in terms of the member's monthly salary and allowances as the House may determine. Then G. Suspension of a member for such period as the House may decide, whether or not County Assembly or any other committee is scheduled to meet during that period. Then H. Vacation of the seat pursuant to Article 75(2)(b) and 194(1)(c) of the Constitution. Honorable members, where a County Assembly finds a member has committed a breach of privilege, the County Assembly may, where appropriate in state or in addition to the imposition of the penalty under Section 3, refers the matter to Director of Public Prosecution. Pending business. I also wish to draw the attention of the House to the pending business. The interruption which the House experienced slowed down the consideration of the business committee to committee. I therefore direct that the following pending business to be concluded within a statutory time. 1. Pending business before the Administration and Public Service. A. Vetting of the nominees to the Nandi County Assembly County Public Service Board. B. Petition by the former local authority staff on unpaid gratuity. 2. The proposed changes of use of existing Kapsabet Stadium, Kipchoge Stadium, to the modern market and the showground land to accommodate a sports club complex and affordable housing is pending before the Lands, Environment and Natural Resources Committee. 3. Pending business before Budget and Appropriation Committee. 1. Nandi County ADB 2024-2025. B. County Budget and Review Outlook Paper 2024-2025. 4. Petition by Torope community is pending before the pending business before the Labor, Justice and Legal Affairs. Then 5. Petition by the ECT teachers is pending before the Education and Vocational Training Committee. 6. The investment bill is pending before Trade and Investment Committee. 7. A number of auditors' general's report are pending before Pick and Pack Committee. This pending business affects the public and need to be concluded. Need to conclude them at the earliest opportunity, moment, and within the prescribed timeline will enable the House to discharge its mandate effectively. I thank you from Honorable Cheruiyot Meli, Speaker, County Assembly of Nandi. Thank you, members. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable members, I have a message from the office of the Speaker, and that is the message of nomination of the County Executive Committee members. Honorable members, I wish to at this juncture convey to the House a message from me, His Excellency the Governor. Standing order 43-1 provides that the Speaker shall read to the County Assembly any message from the Governor or a Senator of the county delivered to the Speaker for the communication to the County Assembly. In conformity with the Standing Order 43-1, the message from His Excellency the Governor is dated on 27 November 2024 and addressed to the clerk. The message reads as follows. Ref. Nomination of the County Executive Committee members. Having accepted the resignation of Mrs. Ruth Koech, the County Executive Committee member for Health and Sanitation, and Engineer Tris Kibet, County Executive member for Transport and Infrastructure, on 28 November 2024, and pursuant to the section 46(1) and 2 of the County Government Act 2012, I have issued an Executive Order number 1 of 2024 in reorganization of the government. Further, the Department of Gender, Social Welfare, Culture, Heritage, and Youth Affairs has been split to create Department of Sports and Arts and Youth and other Department of Culture, Gender, and Social Services. Consequently, pursuant to the provision of Article 179(2)(b) of the Kenya Constitution of Kenya 2010, as read with the Section 32(b) of the County Government Act of 2012, I have nominated for consideration and approval for the appointment by the Nandi County Assembly the following 3 persons for the position of the County Executive Member in the County Government of Nandi. 1. Dr. Angeline Chepchirchir, nominee for position of County Executive Member for Health and Sanitation. 2. Ms. Reni Chepkoske Kirwa, nominee for the position of the County Executive Committee Member for Education and Vocational Training. And 3. Engineer Robert Kipchirchir Limo, a nominee for the position of the County Executive Member for Transport and Infrastructure. The purpose of this letter is therefore to forward the names of the above nominee for consideration and approval by the County Assembly of Nandi pursuant to provision of the County Public Appointment, that is the County Assembly Approval Act, and the Nandi County Assembly Standing Orders. Copies of the Vidaya, academic documents, and other testimonials are attached here. As is thank you, signed by Stephen K. Sang, EGH, Governor Nandi. Honorable members, Section 6 of the Public Appointment, that is the County Assembly Act 95 of 2017, provides that an appointing authority shall, upon nominating a person for appointment to such which the Act applies, notify the relevant county assembly accordingly. 2, the message from His Excellency is in line with Section of 61 of the Public Appointment, that is the County Assembly Act number 5 of 2017. Public Appointment County Assemblies Act of 5 of 2017 is an act of parliament that provides a legal framework for all the public appointment to the county assemblies as follows. 1, following the receipt of the notification of the nomination under Section 63B, the Speaker shall report the receipt of the notification to the county assembly. Following the notification shall be committed to the relevant committee of the assembly. Subject to the subsection 3, the chair of the committee shall determine the time and place for holding of the approval hearing, which shall not be later than 14 days before the date of the committal of the notification to the committee. Then 3, the approval hearing shall be held in public place and shall be conducted during the working hours. 4, the clerk shall notify a candidate of the time and the place for the holding of any approval hearing by a notice in at least 2 newspapers of the nation's circulation and by writing and such other forms of communication as the clerk shall consider appropriate. 5, the committee shall by the notice in at least 1 newsletter of national circulation notifying the public of time and the place holding an approval hearing at least 7 days prior to the hearing. Honorable members, consequently, I hereby commit the following nominees to the Committee on Appointment to conduct the vetting exercise in accordance with the Constitution, the provision of the Public Appointment Committee Assembly Act number 5 of 2017 and relevant statutes. The public should also be given an adequate opportunity to take part in exercise by submitting memorandum, sworn statement, and sworn statement. Therefore, the names of the nominees you have been given, that is Dr. Yulita, Dr. Angeline Jepchirchir, Department to Nomination of Sanitation. What is the honorable member? That is Dr. Angeline Jepchirchir. That is the Department to Nominate to Health and Sanitation. Then B, Ms. Reni Chepkoskei Kirwa, Education and Vocational Training. And 4, we have Engineer Robert Kipchirchir Limo, the Transport and Infrastructure. Those were the names of the nominees. I say Dr. Yuleda because that is the name that we have been saying, Honorable Balala, and she's an acting ambassador on that trade. It was not. So that is from, that one is from Honorable, I thank you, Honorable Cheruyot Meli, Speaker of the County Assembly of Nandi. I think that's the nominee. Other honorable members should also appear in the appointment committee. Honorable Martin, I think you need to have been given some leave, but next time. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to lay the table of the House on that December 2024, the nomination. That one you have communicated. Secondly, there is the auditor report of 2022-2023. The auditor report on 2022, if that is volume 1, and then there is revenue funds.
Point of order,
Mr.
Chair.
Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker, sir.
What is it, Honorable Tarbay?
I think the member should be guided, Honorable Speaker, that it's not the auditor report, the Auditor General's report.
Yeah.
He's just saying the auditor report, so we don't know which auditor.
The General.
It's okay,
It is true.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yeah, it is true, Honorable Tarbay, that's the General report.
The Auditor General report on county revenues, County Executive Volume 1 for the year 2022-2023. Secondly is the Auditor General report on county government revenue funds 2022-2023. The same Auditor General report, summary report on county government revenue funds for 2022-2023. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, is Nandi County Supplementary Budget 1 estimate for financial year 2024 to 2025. And lastly, I wish to lay the table to lay on the table today on 3rd December 2024 the Nandi County Facilities Improvement Fund financial statement of the year 2023-2024. I beg to table, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Majority, Deputy Majority. Honorable members, I acknowledge the receipt of the Nandi County Supplementary Budget 1 estimate for the financial year 2024-2025. The same stands committed to the Committee on Budget and Appropriation Committee. Also, members, I also acknowledge the receipt of the submission of the Nandi County Facility Improvement Fund financial statement for the year 2023-2024. Same stands committed to the Committee on the Pick and Pack. Honorable members, I also acknowledge the receipt on the Auditor General's report, as corrected by Honorable Darabey. Auditor General report on the County Government Executive 2022-2030 Volume 1. I also acknowledge the receipt on Auditor General's report on the Nandi County Government Revenue Fund 2022-2023. And finally, I acknowledge the receipt on Auditor General's summary report on the county statement, County Government Revenue Fund, and all stands committed to the Committee on Pick and Pack. Thank you, members. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to move a motion on adjournment. I give the notice, then I'll proceed and give the motion itself, that is adjournment.
So, Honorable Davis, you are giving a notice on adjournment of the County Assembly for the long recess.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. As guided by our clerk, I'll go ahead and give the motion. Motion on
Honorable Davis, you only give the notice of that motion before you move the motion when time comes. So you only give the notice of motion before, then.
So
you
I
move.
give the notice motion of adjournment of the long recess. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order. This is in order, Honorable Davis. Next order.
Motion.
Order number 7, statements.
Any statement? Next order.
Order number 7, motion.
Honorable Sangute.
Number 8. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I give the motion of adjournment. I move the motion on adjournment of County Assembly for long recess. That aware that the County Assembly is to be in session in accordance with the County Assembly calendar approved in accordance with Standing Order number 29(1) and 2 until 5th December 2024. Further, aware that the Standing Order 28(1) provide that the regular sessions of the County Assembly shall commence on the second Tuesday of February and terminates on first Thursday of December 2024, cognizant that the approved calendar will have the County Assembly adjourn as from 5th December 2024 for the long recess. This House resolved to adjourn 4th and 5th December sitting and provide for long recess as per the approved Nandi County Assembly that session calendar. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request Honorable Whip to second.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable members, I now propose that this House resolves to adjourn its sitting from 4th and 5th December 2024 sitting and proceed for the long recess as per the approved Nandi County Assembly third session calendar be discussed. Honorable members, the floor is free, the floor is open for discussion. Honorable Tarbi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the motion of adjournment for long recess as moved by the Deputy Leader of Majority. Honorable Speaker, I think we require this break. It's just a matter of 2 days because we were working on the calendar, and because we don't have a tight schedule on the same, I believe that bringing the motion today is okay so that members can go for a long recess. We are aware that most of the members here, Mr. Speaker, we are political animals, and most of the time we are not in our homes. And this being December holiday, Mr. Speaker, the members will get adequate time for the long recess to be with their families, with their children, because, Mr. Speaker, parenting is a critical role also. And I know you have also committed that there are some names that have been forwarded to this Honorable House, that, Mr. Speaker, I know they will require the use of this facility for vetting. And, Mr. Speaker, I wish well the appointment committee because they have a big task ahead of them. However, Mr. Speaker, my worry is on the sentiments of the governor. When the governor was giving the same names, Mr. Speaker, he mentioned the assembly in a wrong way. But I want to believe that the appointments committee will live to task, because if the governor can accuse the defunct ad hoc committee of being compromised, the same can happen to the appointments committee, Mr. Speaker. So I want to beseech the appointment committee that they should live to the standard and disapprove the governor that this Honorable House cannot be compromised, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I support the long recess, and we wish well the new CECs. However, Mr. Speaker, you know, we, as House, maybe we had gotten the names in advance, because I'm learning now that the CEC for roads and the CEC for lands have resigned, and for health have resigned, and these are key departments, Mr. Speaker. However, I wish the governor could give us valid reasons as to why the two resigned, Mr. Speaker, because if CECs of two key departments can resign, Mr. Speaker, we might wake up tomorrow and find out that all the CECs have resigned, Mr. Speaker. So I believe the governor should have given a clear wording as to why the CECs resigned. Because, Mr. Speaker, we cannot take it for granted. Two departments, roads in Nandi is a key department, health is a key department. So if one day two CECs wake up, they resign, and the governor cannot pinpoint the reason as to why they resign. Instead, the governor approached the what we call diversionary tactics. He diverted from the attention, Mr. Speaker, because instead of pointing out as to why the CCs resigned, he went ahead and accused the Assembly of being compromised. But, Mr. Speaker, I was saying it was critical for the governor to highlight.
I think you've made your point, and I know you will discuss when we will receive the names of those CECs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support, Mr. Speaker, altogether my point is home, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. I support the motion of...
Noted, Honorable Tarbe. Thank you. Honorable Martin, senior mic was on.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand, Mr. Speaker, to agree, Mr. Speaker, that indeed it's time we actually move for a long recess, Mr. Speaker, for the adjournment of this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, cognizant of the fact that for the last few months, Mr. Speaker, we've had a very tedious schedule, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that, Mr. Speaker, that we had a defunct ad hoc committee, Mr. Speaker, that did a very excellent job, Mr. Speaker. Of course, they did some good job, and they need to go and rest, Mr. Speaker, with their families, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, again, noting the fact that, Mr. Speaker, that the ad hoc report, Mr. Speaker, is still alive and kicking, Mr. Speaker, we need to have time to rest. So that, Mr. Speaker, come next time, Mr. Speaker, we'll be very re-energized, Mr. Speaker, and after having gone through the report properly, Mr. Speaker, we can be able, Mr. Speaker, to come and ventilate into the report properly, Mr. Speaker. Because I know, Mr. Speaker, it was left hanging. We didn't finish it, Mr. Speaker. We have a mission, Mr. Speaker, to come and finish it, Mr. Speaker. So it is time, Mr. Speaker, that we adjourn, Mr. Speaker, so that so that we can come back while we are fresh and, of course, ready for the work, Mr. Speaker. Again, Mr. Speaker, actually basing on the table of the names of the CCs, Mr. Speaker, I don't think I have much to say, Mr. Speaker, because there is more that meets the eye, Mr. Speaker. And I don't want to cross the bridge, but I will cross the bridge while the riverbank, yes, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I propose, Mr. Speaker, that we go on recess.
Thank you, Honorable Martin. Any member who have an input on the recess before I put a question? Honorable Beth.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the motion on adjournment, Honorable Speaker, since we need to go and have a rest, to go and have a good time with our families, Honorable Speaker. Remember also, Honorable Speaker, my colleague, friend, Honorable Martin Toklas, has said some of us were the very serious task, with a very huge work after the defunct ad hoc committee progress, although it was supported, Honorable Speaker, the baby is still alive, and we have a duty, Honorable Speaker, to nurture the baby till next year, come February. When Jesus will be born, I think some of us will be reborn again, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for a mother of CEC...
You say the mother died and the baby is still alive?
No, it is still alive.
You are nurturing the baby?
We are nurturing the baby.
Okay,
that is the good wording, Honorable Speaker. We are nurturing the baby. Come next year, the same place, same time, same honorable members. We have to speak what it takes to the great people of Nandi. Nevertheless, Honorable Speaker, let me wish the good honorable members the Merry Christmas and everything good as we go to engage our electorates. As far as we have time to engage our families, we will not leave anything. And we have projects which is pending, Honorable Speaker. We have projects which have not been done. It has not been even, the contractors have not even visited the site, Honorable Speaker. That is the time also we need to engage our contractors. We see some, there was reshuffle, Honorable Speaker. There was reshuffle made by Honorable His Excellency the Governor. And we want to see. There is also this report, the defunct report, the defunct committee report in this House, Honorable Speaker, is still alive. We need also to measure, to see the strength. How strong is this reshuffle CCs? Are they doing their work with a new shape, with new face? And if I think, Honorable Speaker, if they continue sleeping on their chops, let me send a message to them that the report, the motion is still alive. We will revisit and we will smoke them out in various departments. Yes, that is a fact. Let them be aware that the report, the motion is still alive. They are in various departments. They have gone to hide in various departments. But if at all they will not deliver, we will revisit. We will smoke them out. They will not have a place to hide. That is the goodness of ad hoc report in this county, the floor of the House. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much, members. Enjoy your holiday. For those members whom we had some differences in terms of this ad hoc report, go and reunite with your electorate. Look for sweet words on which you will unite them.
Honorable Pate, you are out of order, Honorable Pate. You contribute on the motion of this.
No, I'm encouraging my colleagues.
You are not encouraging all the honorable members. You continue on this.
You know, we have the difference. We have a very big difference. Or even on the ground. The ground is hostile for some of us, Honorable Speaker. It is not a lie.
No, it is okay, but you put it honorable, you conclude honorable.
Let me conclude here that, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion 100%. Let us go and support the electorates and unite and have fun with our families. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Pate. Honorable Mosby, Kaptumo Kaboy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this chance to contribute on this motion of adjournment. Mr. Speaker, like my colleagues have risen and said, that this adjournment is necessary, more so because it is in our calendar, and it is a calendar that this House approved, debated and approved. So there is really nothing strange about it, but now that we are accountable to our people, perhaps they should know that why is it that today we resumed at the same time we are talking about resting. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, we are actually going to rest because there is no work. Because you go back to your electorates, you can rest. Because when we talk now, 2 quarters of this financial year are gone. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Perhaps when this hit in the assembly is reduced and we go back to our electorates, we will face the reality and engage with them, talk to them, do follow up on whatever was remaining that has not been finished. And we know, again, Mr. Speaker, the nominees that have been brought around, they have to be dealt with, they have to be vetted. And for that reason, we have to have room for that purpose. And I know when the time comes, Mr. Speaker, I know you shall call a special sitting so that the work will have to continue, so to say. And we will come here, and I would want to urge those who shall be involved in preparing the reports that shall be tabled in this House to do a good job. Even the members of Budget Committee, share with us the information on what you are going to appropriate. I should know, coming from Kaptumo Kaboy, those projects that wananchi had given, had prioritized, that they are going to be done. I have to be, perhaps there is a change of priority, and I hope being a member that is not sitting in the budget committee, Mr. Speaker, it is important I have that information. It is important that we keep consulting, Mr. Speaker, and so that we come up with a good supplementary budget, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this motion in totality, and I want to urge us that we use the time to again build bridges. Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't want us to wish away what Honorable Bet said, that the ground is not very good not for all of us. At times, you go back there, you admit that man is to error. If you are not on the right side with your people, talk to them. In any case, Mr. Speaker, we are colleagues. Today, we came here and I felt that I'm back home here. I'm back home here because these are the people we can laugh with. These are the people we can share the challenges. When I met the honorable member from Chepkunyuk, Mr. Speaker, at the beginning he was so gloomy. But after a short chat and words of encouragement from me, he looked, the face lit up. You know, he's a light-skinned person. And as you can see, the skin is not as light as it used to be. So it is time, Mr. Speaker. We know you worked very hard, Mr. Speaker, to sway the House, not to favor the beautiful committee report. We thank God that the report is still alive. We will talk about it. We will agree on it to avoid the division. Mr. Speaker, even with your leadership, Mr. Speaker, let us now build the bridges. Let us put the emotions aside. Let us serve these people of Nandi. Let us reach out to the executives to correct where they've gone wrong. Our interest was not to be punitive on anyone, but it is so that the service to the people of Nandi is felt and is felt across the board. Mr. Speaker, as I end, I want to also take this opportunity. We know Christmas is not very far away. I want to take this opportunity. I may not be able to go to all corners of Kaptumo Kaboi. I may not be able to go to all corners of Nandi County. I would want to wish all the residents of Nandi, all the people of Kaptumo Kaboi, and each and every member a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2025, Mr. Speaker. Yes, 2025, Mr. Speaker. Time is flying so fast, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mosby. Honorable Bet, Honorable Bet Richard. What?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I also rise to support this motion on the adjournment. And before I do that, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my Almighty God for this far. We are moving towards the end of the 2024. And it has taken the mercies and the love of God that today we are seated here as honorable members, members whom God gave them an opportunity to represent their respective wards, the 30 wards. So we thank God for that. Secondly, I want to thank each and every member who is seated here today and who is not seated here today for the enormous contribution in transaction of the business of this house. You know, I know we might have gone wrong on some things and we might have done right on some things. All said and done, in one way or another, we work together for the betterment of our county. Mr. Speaker, I know we've had a lot of challenges, more than good things in the last 2 financial years that we've been able to sit in this assembly. But I know we've learned a number of lessons, and those lessons learned would guide us to take Nandi County to better heights. Mr. Speaker, sir, I know we've had, for the last 2.5 months, we've had a lot of things that happened that almost brought division in this house. But I want to thank God that now we are united for a common purpose. And as we do that, this is the right time that we need to adjourn. Retreat back to our families. Mr. Speaker, you are very much aware that a number of MCAs here are still at reproductive age. And you know, these are the reproductive seasons between October and December. And we've wasted a lot of time as we work on ad hoc reports. A number of us, and they can bear you witness that those people who sat in the ad hoc committee had a lot of things to do, preoccupied on how to save this county. Most of them never spent even with their families. And I think this motion is timely, that we retreat back to our families and continue building families, because a better family is a better society, and a better society is a better nation. So as I stand to support this motion, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge honorable members that let us leave behind what happened. Let us build bridges. Bridges built on consensus. Consensus on how to better our county. And I want to urge all of us that let us leave personal interests aside and pursue the interests of the people of Nandi and those people who send us here to represent them. And I think this is the right time now that as we go home for this long holiday, this is the time that we go and have, we have a number of ceremonies ahead of us. All of us in the two camps, anti-ad hoc and pro-ad hoc, let us converge in these ceremonies and so that we can shed away the differences that we had. And this is a better way to build friendship. This is a better way to better our welfare. This is a better way even to transact business. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to say this. As we approach 2025, let us do the right thing. Sometimes allow me use this unpopular statement. Let us not leave our brains back at home and bring skulls to this county assembly without brains. I said allow me use this because let us not in future accept any directive, any external forces in transaction of our business. As I stand here today, I'm disappointed when His Excellency the Governor spoke and said there were external interferences in the writing of the report. It was very demeaning. It shows that he has not trusted on the institution that was put up by the Constitution of 2010. County Assembly is one of the independent houses, and it is a creature of our 2010 Constitution. That any other individual seated in any level should respect independent institution and the resolution of this house. Mr. Speaker, sir, I know we have a number of issues like you've laid in the floor of the House that is before this House. One of them, which is particular to me, is the CECs. And I would want to ask, Mr. Speaker, as we move forward and await for that day, could you kindly interrogate the Constitution? Remember, there was a ruling that was given by the court that this position must be advertised. I don't know, it was not for this day as directed, but as we go home, let us do things the right way to avoid legal challenges by any other Kenyan. Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to wish the honorable members, the 44 of us, and the entire County Assembly of Nandi staff, led by our clerk and the Speaker, a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. To my great people of Kapchorwa, I want to thank you for the opportunity you gave me to serve you. And I want to make my personal commitment that I will always serve with zeal and dedication. To the great people of Nandi, pray for us as we move to the next course of action in restoring dignity to the people of Nandi. May God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Pate, for that very powerful speech. Honorable Ezra Rotich Kurkunsrungai.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, first to congratulate the mover of the motion moved by Davis Sangutei on the motion of an adjournment of this county assembly for the long recess. And that is according to the standing orders as per the calendar approved by this House at the beginning of the session. We know we still have a lot to do in this. We have a lot of things to do at our homes, meeting with our families, and maybe going around our wards to check on the progress of one or two projects that are ongoing in some regions. Honorable Speaker, December is a festive season. You interact with your electorates, you interact with your family. This is the right time for this House to adjourn so that we have that kind of discussion. I appreciate my fellow honorable members for the wonderful opinions given on the view on matters before this House. And before I support fully this motion, we saw from your side that you have a lot of matters before this House. We have the appointment committee discussing on the nomination of CCM members tabled before this House. We have other pending businesses at the committee level, and we know that we will have a rota that will drive that process all along before we come back and have a discussion. One notable paper that has been tabled, Honorable Speaker, is on the Supplementary Budget 1. And it's before this House and members that they know clearly one of the challenges that we have been having as to why we have never, we have never had projects being done across the county. It was because of push and pull at the national government. The DORA and the CARA are yet to be approved. They were yet to be approved by the Senate and the National Assembly. So there are some things that dictates on how things should be done. But now that this supplementary have been tabled, we are 100% sure. If things doesn't go as per the supplementary budget, that is when we will start the push and pull. But if all goes well with the same, we expect to start all these projects, if not the end of this year, then early at the beginning of that particular year. And we expect that the Committee of Budget and Appropriation, with speed, to move with speed, to ensure the same is tabled before this House and approved, so that we continue with the same process. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, you know, all these other discussions on what we have been going through for the last 2 months. Allow me not say that it depends on the side that you are seeing from. I'm one honorable member who was sent by my people from Kurgung Surungai ward to find a solution to problems. If there's a problem, you sit down and find a solution. That is the message they gave me when I came in here. That as a leader, go sit down and find a solution to problems. Based on the discussions that I'm having with my people up to now, they appreciate for the solutions that I've provided for the problems that they have been facing for the last 10 years. And they are still pushing me hard to ensure that 3 or 4 problems that are still there are solved within the shortest time possible. And they appreciate the direction that my particular ward is taking. And I'm still looking forward to the day when we'll be sitting down. And I like the way my good friend, Honorable Bates from Kapchorwa said, we build the bridges to ensure that all of us are moving to the right direction. And I believe that the BBI ward, Building Bridges Initiative, will bear fruits, and we'll be having a discussion which will bring and rather propel this county to greater heights, to bring synergy, and to ensure that we deliver the mandate as given by the Constitution. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, allow me to use this particular time to wish the great people of Nandi, my people from Kurkung Surungai ward, a happy festive season as they celebrate their Christmas and 12/12, and at the same time, wish them a happy 2025 New Year as we welcome it from first of that particular year. Thank you so much, and be blessed.
Thank you, Honorable Esra. Honorable Chelule, Raymond.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the motion of adjournment. However, I have one issue which I want to question. When vacancies arise within any establishment, the people to fill those vacancies are recruited using a competitive process. I note that the 2 vacancies within the executive now, following the resignation of the 2 CEC members in the Nandi County Executive, I note that people have been handpicked and they are being brought to this house for vetting without advertising the jobs in the public media for interested applicants to apply and be shortlisted. I think that is the legal process which should be used instead of just picking names and bringing them here for vetting without having gone through that procedure. That is my concern, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I want to wish each and every one or every member in this house a wonderful recess. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Let us meet next year, and then we revisit the issue of the ad hoc report, which according to me was an outstanding oversight duty of this house, which cannot just be wished away. Otherwise, our work here in this house is oversight. And when we produce a wonderful report like that one, it cannot just be wished away by having members, instead of voting
using their minds. They vote using their stomachs. They vote using their stomachs.
You're out of order.
Thank you.
You are out of order. You need to withdraw order using their mind.
Yes, sir.
Members are voting using their mind. Otherwise, I think it is not in order for you to use that language.
No,
maybe
that was evident. Was my conclusion anyway on that.
Okay, thank you, but that was not the thing. It was that the members would have raised Honorable Keter and then Honorable Salma, then Honorable Sarah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the motion of adjournment, Mr. Speaker, for this county assembly till next year, February, Mr. Speaker, the second Tuesday of February, Mr. Speaker, so that we have time, Mr. Speaker, with our families, Mr. Speaker. And as Honorable Vet has said, Mr. Speaker, and especially the members who are in the ad hoc, Mr. Speaker, who had a lot of work, Mr. Speaker. And Honorable Vet have requested, Mr. Speaker, that he will be in touch with the family now, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was speaking to Honorable Mosby, Mr. Speaker. I had missed him, Mr. Speaker. You know, since the 13th of November, Mr. Speaker, I had not seen him, even on our WhatsApp, Mr. Speaker. And he had promised from today, Mr. Speaker, he will be live, Mr. Speaker. And he was very happy, Mr. Speaker. And I think all our honorable members were very happy today to be here again, Mr. Speaker, after that, the 13th of November, Mr. Speaker, when we were deliberating on the report on ad hoc, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this day, Mr. Speaker, I think it is a big day for us, Mr. Speaker, for the honorable members. And I want to wish all honorable members the very best, Mr. Speaker, as they interact with the electorates, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when we were on Sendai, Mr. Speaker, I got time, Mr. Speaker, to move around my ward. I was with my people, Mr. Speaker. And now the recess is here, Mr. Speaker. I'll be with them, Mr. Speaker, again, more than the other days, Mr. Speaker. And I realized, Mr. Speaker, my people are very happy, the great people of Kunyuk, Mr. Speaker, on the decisions I'm making here on their behalf, Mr. Speaker. And I want to promise, Mr. Speaker, I'll continue serving them, Mr. Speaker, on their interest. Mr. Speaker, in this county assembly, we have democracy, Mr. Speaker, and of which, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge honorable members, when we fresh holders, Mr. Speaker, we should reconcile and move on. It is a matter of, it is not a matter of death, Mr. Speaker. We are here and we respect opinion of each one of us and we move on. So that we see, Mr. Speaker, on democracy, we are all, and I want to urge honorable members, we'll be here together, God willing, until 2027. So let us embrace unity as we move on, as we go to our electorates. Let us talk to them so that as we come on February next year, Mr. Speaker, we will have a lot of issues being addressed here, Mr. Speaker, from our electorates. And Mr. Speaker, I've had the three CECs. Mr. Speaker, to be fettered, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish them all the best as they go to that committee. I'm not a member of that committee, Mr. Speaker, but we are here waiting for the report to be here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the executive, Mr. Speaker, we've missed a lot. We are at the end of the second quarter. Nothing has been done, Mr. Speaker, because we had a lot of turbulence in our county. Now that, Mr. Speaker, the turbulence are down, let them advertise these jobs, Mr. Speaker, to be done in our wards. Mr. Speaker, in Kunyuk, we have around 40 million, Mr. Speaker, and I heard, Mr. Speaker, there is a supplementary. I hope, Mr. Speaker, and pray that it should not reduce that money, Mr. Speaker, because we already given those information to our electorates, Mr. Speaker, that these projects will be done. And Mr. Speaker, I want to urge honorable members, let us unite for a purpose. Now that we are at half a year, all programs should be advertised, Mr. Speaker, and we should do all oversight, Mr. Speaker. We had agreed that those projects which can be done on the rainy season were to be advertised in the first quarter. But again, Mr. Speaker, we were affected by the 15% which we were given from the national government that you implement a budget of 15% of the budget. But nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, 15%, it has accumulated. Since July to date, Mr. Speaker, I think it's a lot of money. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge honorable members as we move on, let us go and supervise these projects in our wards as we come in February, Mr. Speaker, because we are going to a dry spell, Mr. Speaker, we should start with roads. So that as we come in February, Mr. Speaker, most of our roads will have been done. Because most of us, Mr. Speaker, have promised wananchi that when the rain is over, Mr. Speaker, we are going to a dry spell, Mr. Speaker, all the roads will be done. And I think, Mr. Speaker, it is prudent that we go and supervise those projects in our wards to be done as according to the PQs, Mr. Speaker, which will be, it has been given. Nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, today reminds me, Mr. Speaker, when I was in Form 4, Mr. Speaker, and we could sing, Mr. Speaker, the song which was saying, God be with you until we meet again. I wish you all members, God be with you until we meet on the second Tuesday of February next year, 2025. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you. Good day, Honorable Salman, then Honorable Sarah.
Mkusanyiko wetu. Asante sana Bwana Spika, ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kuunga mkono hoja hii ya uahirishaji wa mkusanyiko wetu hapa Assembly. Kwanza kabisa ningependa kueleza wenzangu ya kuwa baada ya changamoto mingi ambazo tumekuwa nazo kwa miezi miwili ambayo imepita, haikuwa rahisi. Kuna kamati ambayo imekuwa na kazi mzito na wao pia kibinadamu wanafaa pia wapate muda wa kupumzika. Pili, ningependa kuwakumbusha sisi waheshimiwa wote ambao tuko hapa, tulikuja hapa kwa muda na tuko na kisababu ambacho ilituleta hapa. Tulikuja kuhudumia wananchi. So ningependa kuwahimiza tuweke tu heshima mbele na kila mtu aangalie kazi yake kulingana na vile alikuja hapa. Nadhani kila mtu anajua lengo lake kilichomleta hapa. Uliaminika kwako ndio maana ukachaguliwa. Kama haukuchaguliwa uliteuliwa. Na kitambo uteuliwe kuna kitu ambacho kilimvutia yule ambaye alikuteua ndio akakuweka hapa. Sasa kwa hivyo naomba kukuwe na heshima na mapenzi kati yetu na tutafaulu sisi wote. Pia ningependa kuhimiza waheshimiwa, naomba tuwe na umoja. Kwa maana lengo letu kubwa hapa ni kuhudumia wananchi. Na changamoto huwa ikosekani na kupitana. Maoni yetu yote haiwezi kuwa sawa. Wewe utafikiria hivi, mimi nitafikiria hivi, lakini mwisho wa siku lazima tuwe na suluhisho. Ikiwa haitaenda vile unataka, tukubaliane. Ikiwa itaenda vile unataka, tukubaliane, mwisho wa siku tuwe na jawabu. Ningependa pia kusema wakati hii itakuwa fursa nzuri kwa waheshimiwa kuenda kukaa na wapiga kura wao, familia zao na wapendwa wao. Sherehe ni nyingi, ni wakati mzuri pia nyinyi kila mmoja wetu aweze kujumuika na kila mtu kwa sherehe wakati huu wa likizo. Mwisho kabisa ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kutakia heri njema ya Krismasi Wakristo wote Nandi County na mwaka mpya wenye mafanikio. Shukran.
Asante sana Honorable Sarah, and then we go to Honorable Whip.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I also stand to support this motion on adjournment for long recess. Okay, for sure, we have undergone a lot of rigorous exercise that we now need enough time to go and rest. So I thank, first of all, I take this opportunity to thank this House for what happened when we had a motion or an adoption of the ad hoc report. For those who don't know, we made history in this county that was never made in the first assembly and in the second assembly. It has been made in this third assembly, and Aluta continues like that. Whether one voted no or voted yes, it created an impact. And the impacts are two, for the best or for the worst. So each and every one of us knows the direction he or she took. If you know that you took the direction of no, it was for the worst for this county. And if you went for the yes, it is for the best for this county.
Honorable Sarah, you're going to view on that motion?
Yes, I'm saying yes.
It is your own argument, Honorable. It depends on your own. Honorable
Yes,
Sarah, let us not go that direction.
Yeah, it is my own argument and it is my own.
Honorable Sarah, I was saying,
Yes.
you just make a statement whether somebody or a member for that. This for his own Puputino. Maybe another member also might take that those who have voted for this, but that is not the direction. Let us also talk about the recess in positive manner.
Yes, it is the
Please.
recess in a positive manner when other people were standing up and talking about their words and not talking about ABCD. You are quiet, Mr. Speaker. Don't be biased, Mr. Speaker. I respect you so much,
Honorable
Mr.
Sarah, I've
Speaker.
given you the opportunity to continue. I'm not,
Yes,
the speaker is not biased.
let me continue. Other
Yes.
members were just speaking and saying whatever they wanted to say. But for me, I'm saying
Honorable-
that,
Okay, continue, Honorable Sarah.
yes, the Nandi people, the electorate are not happy. What they need is services. And it is in all the wards, the 30 wards. Yeah, it is shock everywhere. And the shock continue, even with what is in the Facebook by the senator, it is still shock. And I was even shocked yesterday when we were, we were going to see a body which was placed in Nandil's mortuary. Still shocked. All the running water, plus all the cabbage, the backtop was inside the mortuary. So people are still shocked, and we shall continue having shock and shock and shock, unless this house will stand by the truth. And for sure, with me, I will not make a friend with somebody who is for unfairness, somebody who is for impunity. I will say no, and I will stop you. So my unity here is the unity for fairness, the unity for finishing impunity in this county. With me, I know who is pretending and who is telling the truth. For my years and in my teaching profession, I can't, even by the look of the face, conclude what is in your mind. And I thank God for that. The sword that we have it now in our hands, let's take care of it. It might be the same sword that will chop off our heads if we don't take care. Nandi County is in short of decision makers. Nandi County have a very big short of people who can problem solvers. We are running short of truth people in this county. And God has given us chance to come and do something in this house. So for this long recess, before I say anything about the recess, so there are names that are before us, the names that will be vetted, and it is upon this house to do the good work or the worst. And I hope, being one of the vetting committee, we shall do our work the way it should be done. It is very shameful when we come up with something that any other person can challenge it again in court. It is good to have time, Mr. Speaker. We go through, and then we see that, are we on the right track? so that we don't shame this house any other time again. So members, and even the vetting committee, let us be truthful and do what is just to the people of Nandi. We cannot say the names are ABCD. They have not presented themselves before the committee and even before this house. So I hope we shall do the best, or the vetting committee will do their best. So for the long holiday, the recess, electorates have a lot of questions, and they need us to answer those questions. Let us go and use this time of long holiday to do some civic education to our electorate. Some even don't know what the MCA is supposed to be doing and what the executive is supposed to be doing. But thank the ad hoc committee, it was an eye-opener to the electorate of Nandi. With me, I can, I'm the happiest person. Even when the road was bad, they made sure that they did it, and they were telling me, MCA, forgive us. We have been accusing you so much. But the ad hoc report made them know what is for the MCA and what is not for the MCA. So let us continue with the civic education to our electorate. We shall be having several celebrations, one corner or another. Any other time you get an opportunity, educate them so that we have educated people. And it is easy to rule people who are educated. So any other time, we meet with them. Let us not run away from them. Let us listen to them. Let us answer their question, even those stupid questions they have. Let us try to answer them, because they need an answer for each and every question from us. They trust us. Whatever we tell them, they believe on it. But let us learn to keep the truth, and the truth will set all of us free. So otherwise, I wish each and every one of us the best with the family, the community, even the church. I wish you the best. But remember to serve your God and stand firm with your God. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I wish you also the best. With your family, I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sarah, for wishing me the best. Thank you, Honorable Whip, and then Honorable Sum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can also support this motion of going for a recess. Mr. Speaker, I join hands with my colleagues that now they know that indeed our electorates need our work, Mr. Speaker. This is the time that we will mingle together, Mr. Speaker, and get their views, so that whenever we will be in this house, Mr. Speaker, we will represent them well, Mr. Speaker. Again, Mr. Speaker, our families also are more important, Mr. Speaker, because I know they have been missing us all along. Because you find that this is the season that we have all the children at home, and we need to do much, Mr. Speaker. Also, Mr. Speaker, this is the time of mingling with our fellow MCS in our various wards, Mr. Speaker, or sub-counties. I know we will be having a lot of ceremonies, as my friend has just mentioned, Mr. Speaker. Let us invite each other, Mr. Speaker, because as the time, celebration has their own style, Mr. Speaker. And like where you stay with condition, Mr. Speaker. I urge honorable members during this holiday, let us be truthful friends, Mr. Speaker. Because indeed, a friend who normally tells you the truth or corrects you, I believe that is a good friend, Mr. Speaker. In this case, Mr. Speaker, This is a good opportunity whereby we can visit each other, Mr. Speaker, and share the common goal. Because, Mr. Speaker, I know there is a lot to be done. The only good, Mr. Speaker, during this holiday, Mr. Speaker, we have tasked the committees of area sectors, Mr. Speaker, that they need to look at on those areas that our electorates have been demanding services, Mr. Speaker, and they don't get, or they feel that they are being oppressed, Mr. Speaker. Let me urge my colleagues that let us do our work in committee at committee level, Mr. Speaker, so that we can avoid this thing of brushing shoulders, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, let us forgive each other. I know there is much. More people have been discussing so many things outside this chamber, Mr. Speaker, including hotels, maybe attending places differently, Mr. Speaker. Let us not betray our friends. Let us speak the truth, Mr. Speaker, and let us be truthful friends. Correct me where necessary, but don't share my weakness with other people, Mr. Speaker. And that will be the great friend that you will have. I know the life as we continue, Mr. Speaker, will judge us harshly if we don't speak the truth. Where it is right, it is right. Where it is wrong, Mr. Speaker. And that is why we are Christian. I believe that we are a big percentage, Mr. Speaker, will be celebrating, believing that they are Christian. But if we are true Christian, Mr. Speaker, they say let us forgive each other and be truthful as we move forward. So in this case, Mr. Speaker, if we know that there are messes around, Mr. Speaker, before we explore or before we go around, Mr. Speaker, let us play our roles. Maybe you need to visit there during this holiday. Let us be encouraged. Let us be visiting our dispensaries, our hospitals, our facilities. I know they will be running. There will be a lot of activities going on. Before we put in social media and do other, Mr. Speaker, I urge honorable members, let us stamp our authority and our we are part of we are part and parcel of all the activity that it is going on within our Nandi County, Mr. Speaker. Sometimes I see honorable members are trying, few of the honorable members are trying to run away and leave everything for the executive, Mr. Speaker. While our work is to do oversight and we do legislation, Mr. Speaker. I know during this holiday, let us enjoy, but we have dusk ahead of us. As soon as we resume, Mr. Speaker, I hope that we will come in with sober mind now, after long recess, that we need to focus and see the changes within our Nandi County. This Nandi County, it is more bigger than one person, Mr. Speaker. If only all of us will join hands, all the 44 of us, and do the supervision and do the representation and oversight, Mr. Speaker, we should prosper a lot, Mr. Speaker. And we should stop. I know, Mr. Speaker, sometimes if we don't have enough rest, that is what normally brings a lot of that's what brings a lot of brushing shoulders, Mr. Speaker. But this time, let us attend our churches and we pray so heartily so that God can intervene what we normally see in social medias and what we normally do. So in this case, I want to take this opportunity also to wish all citizens of this country, especially for Nandi, my ward, Yemundu Kamgetuny, happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, as we will be mingling with you in various departments, in various places at the ward level, Mr. Speaker. So I stand to support this motion, and we will continue serving these people of the great Nandi, Mr. Speaker. I tend to...
Thank you, honorable members. I think this is not a maybe substantive motion. I think I'll also give Honorable Suman and so that we can wind up for this adjournment. Knowing that I've also seen that most of the members are tired and they're just moving in and out. So please let us make...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. You can be sure I will speak the shortest. Honorable Speaker, I rise to concur with all other honorable members who have contributed to this motion. I support this motion, Honorable Speaker, because we need to go back to our families. We need to rest, but not resting as such, because our role of oversight will not stop us wherever we will be. Honorable Speaker, as we go through this dry season, it is our hope that there are plans, especially in the Department of Roads, to fix and maintain our rural roads during this dry season, Honorable Speaker. And this is the time for us to do oversight of every road project that will be continuing in our wards. Also, Honorable Speaker, it will be upon honorable members to engage with the electorates in our wards and also attend to every community functions. And also, Honorable Speaker, as we know, this is a celebration season. Most of us will be going to different places. And I want to urge honorable members, if you happen to go to different places for celebrations, let us inform one another of our presence in different wards. Let us invite each other and we celebrate together. Otherwise, I wish all of us, and I wish the residents of Nandi County a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Sum. Honorable Gevolwe. Then I'll give Honorable Sangote a right of reply before I put the question. Honorable Gevolwe.
Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Speaker, kwa kunipa nafasi hii. Nimesimama kuunga mkono twende likizo ndefu ambayo ni kwa kawaida katika bunge hili la tatu, ya kwamba mnapofanya kazi kifika muhula wa Disemba, huwa kwa kawaida tunaenda kwa likizo ambayo ni ya kumpa waheshimiwa nafasi ya kujumuika na wananchi na kupata ushauri ambao unaweza kuwa wa manufaa kuendeza kaunti yetu hii isonge mbele. Mheshimiwa Speaker, nitasema tu ya kwamba katika bunge hili tumekuwa na kipindi kirefu, kipindi ambacho kimekuwa ni cha maendeleo, kipindi ambacho wengi wetu labda waliona kuwa kuna sintofahamu ya kutokujua ni yapi ambayo tungekuwa tukitekeleza. Lakini Mheshimiwa Speaker, nitasema tu ya kwamba wakati sisi wajumbe kutoka sehemu tofauti tofauti za uwakilishi tumeweza kutana hapa, ni kwa minajili ya kutoa hoja ambazo either pengine tunaweza kubaliana nazo ama tutafautiane nazo. Lakini kutofautiana, Mheshimiwa Speaker, haimaanishi kuna hujuma ama kuna tofauti kubwa. Sisi ni waheshimiwa, mimi na mawazo tofauti, yule mwingine ana mawazo tofauti. Kwa hivyo mimi nitachukua tu fursa hii kumpa wale kongole zangu, wale waheshimiwa ambao walisimama wakipinga mswada ambao ulikuwa ungetumbuiza hii kaunti kina kirefu sana
ambacho tungekosa maendeleo kwa sababu ya wale watu ambao wangeweza kusaidia gavana kufanya kazi.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
What is the honorable understanding order?
Number 90, accuracy of facts. Can
Yes,
the
honorable
honorable member confirm whether we were planning to sink this county into problems, Mr. Speaker?
Honorable Gevolwe, you've been requested to substantiate your argument on...
Mheshimiwa Speaker, ni waziwazi ya kwamba ripoti ambayo ilikuwa mbele yetu ilikuwa na ujumbe wa kusema ya kwamba wakimalizia ya kwamba wamempa gavana muda wa wiki 10 usiku 14 aweza kuwaondoa wafanyikazi wale wote.
Point of order,
Mr.
Speaker.
Honorable Matata, and then Honorable Matata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, and I'm standing on standing order number 90. When you don't have the information and the facts, it is better to keep quiet. I was the chairman of the Fund Ad hoc Committee. And in that report, there is nowhere that suggested the number of days. So I'm wondering, where did the honorable member got 14 days? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, he has alluded that the ad hoc report wanted to sink this county down. Since on 13th of November to date, what has changed? Let us be honest, and let us not be hypocrites. What has changed, Mr. Speaker? So, can the member substantiate?
Honorable Kevolwe, you've been asked to substantiate by the Honorable Matata on the accuracy of funds, accuracy of facts on the issue of the 14 days, and also the issue of that the county wanted to sink. So can you explain to the members what you meant?
Mheshimiwa Speaker, ni wazi ya kwamba wakati umepewa ripoti, hata tukilinganisha na ile ripoti ya kutoka katika serikali kuu, ukipewa report huwa yafaa uitekeleze katika muda wa siku 14 ili ichukue mkondo mwingine. Kwa hivyo mimi...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Understanding order
number 90, Mr. Speaker.
Still number 90, Honorable Matata.
Yes. Let us not deal on an assumption. He's talking on a report that was tabled in this house. And in that report, there is nowhere that it is indicated 14 days.
Honorable Matata, you are right. It was not about the 14 days. The governor was given time, but the time was not specified.
Honorable Speaker, point of order, okay?
Under the same point of order 90, Honorable Speaker.
Yes,
Honorable Speaker, the veteran, the senior honorable member who has been here for more than 15 years is lying to this honorable house, saying that we quoted a number of days which the governor was supposed to act upon the recommendation of the ad hoc report. That is a lie. Again, Honorable Speaker, we didn't vote. The voting was not complete, Honorable Speaker. The voting continues till next year, February.
It is okay, Honorable. It's true. And in fact, I say to Honorable members that is a pending and we are not supposed to discuss. We were discussing on the point of order on what he raised on the issue of the governor. Honorable, I want you to...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Understanding order number, Sarah? 90.
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. Can raise.
Thank you, Speaker. So my point of order is that the document was written in one language, and that is English. And maybe the honorable member has no command of the English language. So in future, I beg this house where that the document should be put in 2 languages, so that in both Kiswahili and English. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I think the member should accept that, Yeah, it never got
The language-
to point
the language used.
because of language problem. Thank you.
Okay, honorable, so that we cannot have point of order, honorable Gavolwe. Please, can you substantiate in 1 minute so that we can move?
Yeah, Mheshimiwa Speaker, nitasema tu mkuki kwa nguruwe ni mtamu, lakini kwa binadamu ni mchungu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, wakati hawa wanasimama wakisema ya kwamba wanaunga walisimama, sasa inaonekana wanagawa hii nyumba kuonekana ya kwamba sisi wengine ambao tulipiga ukipinga sisi ni wabaya.
Mr. Speaker,
accuracy of wanapata nafasi ya kuongea.
Take your seat. Take your seat, Honorable Gavole. You know, when we have a member raise a point of order, it takes you an opportunity to raise a point of order. You will have time to respond. So, Honorable Whip.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, it seems the Honorable, I beg you to see the order, understanding order number 85, Mr. Speaker. Because the member is insisting and we only wanted accuracy of facts, Mr. Speaker.
What is it, Honorable Whip, on that 85? What about order number 85, Whip? Because you raised that order. Order 85, number 85. 45, 85. 1 or 2, Whip. I can read because I have the 85. Proceed to the selected committee. 85, number 85, but if you don't have the standing order. And the members, I think we have all enough standing orders in this house. 85.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, it's 87, not 85.
Yes, can you read?
A member who has used exceptional words and declined to explain and retract the word or to over apology for this use of this word to satisfaction of the speaker shall be deemed to be disorderly and shall be dealt with accordance with the rules pertaining to this orderly conduct, Mr. Speaker.
That's the reaction and the reaction. So, Honorable Gavolwe, you've been told about that standing order. Honorable Gavolwe, you respond so that we can move on, Honorable Gavolwe, so that we cannot attract any unnecessary standing point of orders. Please.
Mheshimiwa Speaker, ni vizuri vile Mheshimiwa anavyosema ya kwamba yafaa mimi nimeenda kinyume cha sheria la bunge hili, lakini mimi sijaondoka kwa kinyume cha bunge hili. Nimekuwa nikielezea vile muda ambao ukipewa ripoti yafaa uchukue muda gani, kama wewe ni kiongozi ama ni gavana ama ni hata awe ni ripoti ya nyumba hii, kwa siku 14 yafaa iwe imeanza kutekelezwa. Kwa hivyo mimi sijakosea, nimeongea tu kulingana na ile ripoti ambayo ilikuweko, ilikuwa na ujumbe ambao nilijaribu kupeana. Kwa hivyo mimi sijakosea, Mheshimiwa Speaker, nimekuwa tu nikijaribu kutetea mambo yangu ambayo yalikuwa, lakini licha hayo wacha tuachane na hayo, Mheshimiwa Speaker. Nataka tu niseme ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Speaker, Mheshimiwa wenzangu, mimi nawatakia kila laheri na mafanikio wakati tunapoenda katika likizo ambayo ni mrefu. Tukikutana hapa tuwe kitu kimoja, wacha tupumzike akili zetu. Tukirudi hapa tuwe na mambo mapya ya kujadili. Lakini nawatakia muende mufanye kazi mzuri, wananchi wakiwa katika kule mashinani wafurahie kazi zetu na tuendelee mbele. Kwa haya machache na mengi, asante sana Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Asante. Kabla ya ama before Vince Honorable Matata in 1 minute, then we'll give Honorable Davis a right to reply before we put the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish also to support the motion on adjournment, and having had some statements from the honorable members, I also wish to join hands and support so that members can have time to go and mingle with their families, with the electorates, as we also pursue other development projects to be executed. The most important thing, Mr. Speaker, and the question that I would like to pose to all the honorable members in this House, in a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate yourselves? In a scale of 1 to 10. Collectively and individually. Honorable Speaker, you find that the issue of unity that is being talked about here, to me, unity is good. But if we remain hypocrites, the issue of unity, I don't see where it will work. It will not work. Because, Mr. Speaker, the only thing that should unite us is first to be objective, to be truthful, and to be honest with ourselves. Mr. Speaker, we are here for now maybe 2 years. We still left with 2 years, 7 months. Because already December, by 1st of January 2025, we shall be left here with 2 years, maybe 2 years, 4 months, that we shall be still in this assembly. Are we going to achieve the mandate that the people of Nandi bestowed upon us to come and represent them? Mr. Speaker, we have a lot. As you were doing the communication, I had a lot of pending activities before the Honorable House coming from the various committees. And I want to urge, Mr. Speaker, the chairmen of the various committees. I know now that we are going for a long recess, but in between we shall have the committees sittings going on. I want to take this opportunity to humbly request the chairman of the various committees and the various committees to take seriously their mandate. Mr. Speaker, if you see the kind of the jobs, the activities that the defunct ad hoc committee did was squarely activities that were supposed to be done by the committees. And I want to humbly request the committees to take their mandate seriously. Let us not entertain non-performance. Because, honorable members, we entertain non-performance, it will finally affect us. And it will affect the whole county of Nandi. Mr. Speaker, I want to challenge my brother Kevolo here. The ad hoc was not meant to bring the county of Nandi, was not meant to sing the county of Nandi. Mr. Speaker, we have some legal obligations that should be done. That one does not require any request. As we are talking, we are at the midway of the second quarter. As the quarterly report for the first quarter brought to this house, is it in this house according to the PFM Act? So, Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage all of us that come next year, let us all endeavor to serve the people of Nandi with all our strengths. It is all about service delivery. It is not about personalities. It is about service delivery. Because I personally, I believe, when a project in my ward is done, and a project in Kiptuya is done, a project in Kurgung Surunga is done, finally, the whole of Nandi will appreciate the services that they have been given. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank Honorable Sarah because she brought to my attention one thing that I've never heard about it. And it is biblical that whenever you have a sword in your hand, you must use it. It is sinful not to use the sword. And it is biblical, and I will request Mheshimiwa to give us that verse. Because when I was with her, he quoted the same verse. Is it in the book of Proverbs? Jeremiah. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge all the honorable members, unless some of us we are losing hope, this issue of the status quo should come to an end. The people of Nandi should feel the benefits of devolution, so that finally it is either two things. It is either 2027 we shall get out of that gate with curses or blessings. So I want to urge all the honorable members. It is not about chanting. The minimum we are requesting is the implementation of the budget. And I want, on the same note, to request the Committee on Budget to make sure that they work on the supplementary one and make sure that the Ward Development Fund is not affected. Because, Honorable Speaker, already in our wards, the members of our various wards knows the projects that they had prioritized. And affecting those projects will also give the honorable members an appeal tax in explaining to the relevant electorates why such and such a project was removed. Because, Honorable Speaker, which will be the criteria of maybe saying, remove this project in this village and don't touch this one in the other village. It will bring a lot of challenges to us. So I want to request the Committee on Budget and Appropriation to make sure that, let them make sure that they actually reduce recurrent expenditure so that they don't affect the development fund. Secondly, Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to wish all the residents of Nandi, the residents of Kapsabet Ward, the honorable members in this house and the staff of the County Assembly of Nandi, a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Madada. Honorable Sangutay, for the right of reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty God for taking care of us as honorable members and the staff of this assembly for this long as we are going for the recess. I wish the honorable members all the best with their families and the staff of this assembly led by our honorable clerk and the speaker. May you have a good festive season and happy new year. Lastly, I wish the residents of Nandi a good festive season and happy new year 2025. and not forgetting the people of Koyundurio. I wish them all the best. May God bless us and keep us safe until we meet again on February the second week. May God bless us. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sangote. Honorable members, I now put a question that aware that the County Assembly is to be on session in accordance with the County Assembly calendar approved in accordance with Standing Order 29.1 and 2 until 50 December 2024. Further aware that the Standing Order 28.1 provides that the regular session of the County Assembly shall commence on the second Tuesday of February and terminate on first Thursday of December 2024. Cognizant that the approved calendar will have the County Assembly adjourned as from 50 December 2024 for the long recess. The House resolved to adjourn, vote, and 5th December 2024 sittings and proceed for the long recess as by the approved Nandi County Assembly third session calendar. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I wish also to take this opportunity to thank all the members of the County Assembly, to thank the people from Nandi, also to thank you all members for coming today and discuss so many business affecting our people. And I've had members talking about let us mend fences, bridges. I must commend for today's session. Let us continue mending the bridges. You know, we have been having issues, but I think come this December holiday and January, we shall remain as one. So when we are united, we succeed. When we divided, we fall. So let us be together. Let us move. I also wish that if you have any holiday, what we call when we have any function in your ward, I'll come. Even if you don't invite me. And also let us all have had members talking about the discussion of being in the government and not in the government. Let us all be one. Let us focus that we meet in 2025 on February. Whether we are for no, for yes, for the government, for a year, let us all intermingle together. And that one will work as we come in 2024. Otherwise, may we take this opportunity to wish on behalf of the Speaker, to wish the people of Nandi, to wish the County Assembly staff, to wish and extend the wish to thank or to wish a member of Chepkumia, me representing them as the area MCA, the Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2025. Thank you, honorable members, and may God bless you all. Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
So being no any other business, this house stands adjourned until February next year, 2025.